Moreland City Council acknowledges the Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung people as the traditional custodians of the lands and waterways in the area now known as Moreland. We acknowledge and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Gilpin Park in Albert Street occupies the site of a large clay pit dug originally by Brunswick's historic Hoffman Brickworks. Bricks were being developed in Brunswick as early as 1840, with 44 pottery and brickmaking firms operating in the vicinity by 1869. Demand for bricks continued to grow with the building boom generated by Victoria's gold rush, and pottery pipes were needed for public water and sewage works. Hoffman Brickworks were named after Frederick Hoffman, the German designer of a patented kiln system. At one point, the Hoffman Brick and Potteries Company was the largest company in Victoria of its kind. Hoffman's first operated in Albert Street, then moved in 1884 to the No. 2 Works on Dawson Street. The original Albert Street Works were closed in 1941 and used as a rubbish tip from 1947, taking 17 years to be filled completely. By 1981, they'd settled sufficiently to be redeveloped by the local council as a park, which is now Clifton Park. To the north of the surviving buildings, where Gilpin Park is now situated, was the No. 2 clay pit, which is 150 feet deep and at its peak produced 2,000 tonnes of brick material per week. The clay pit was connected to the Dawson Street Works by a 700 feet long inclined tramway and to the original clay pit of the No. 1 Works by a tunnel under Albert Street. Life in 20th century Brunswick was dominated by Hoffmans. Their whistle rang out every morning from 7:15 to 7:20. On Mondays, Hoffman ceased production so that the housewives of Brunswick could get their laundry dried without the plumes of smoke from the chimneys. Hoffman's was a large employer, particularly up until the 1930s. Workers were instrumental in industrial unionist action, including the fight for the 8-hour workday. With their rich density of clay, Hoffman's and other kilns in the Brunswick, Northcote and Preston area produced bricks for thousands of iconic Victorian buildings. The brickwork part of the business declined in the 1930s, and the company turned to more domestic wares like Melrose ware. The Hoffman Company was bought out by Clifton Holdings in 1960 and ceased production in 1993. The Hoffman Brickworks remains an enduring landmark of the full industrialisation of Australia. It is one of the few kilns remaining intact in Melbourne and is now a recognisable heritage-listed property. After redevelopment in the late 1990s, the Brickworks now holds residential and commercial vacancies. The giant No. 2 clay pit was gradually filled with rubbish and the site eventually planted with native species. The pit was officially converted to parkland in 1986, with the informal layout reflecting more recent and contemporary approaches in park design and recreation. Gilpin Park today is popular for its enclosed dog park that opened in 2018. Besides which, the park offers a natural bush setting crisscrossed by granitic pathways with table tennis tables, picnic and barbecues facilities. Gilpin Park has become an essential fabric of the Brunswick community, retaining its richness in identity and history that resides underneath the surface of the area. We hope you have enjoyed this video brought to you by Moreland City Council.